Hey church family, I'm coming to you with our first video in a series of videos that we're going to be doing a couple of times a week. So let me talk to you a little bit about what's in my heart and what we can expect from these videos. You know, I've been reflecting on the early letters to the church that we have throughout the New Testament, and these letters were rooted in the idea of being distant from each other and choosing to try to find a way to stay connected in our hearts. And so these letters were written often to the church they were called the church, saints of God, brothers and sisters, or one of my personal favorites, the beloved. And so using a model, I want to walk you through 3 John. This really spoke to my heart this week in preparing for these videos we're going to do, and it totally captures what I'm hoping that we can do here together. So in this particular letter, John's 3rd letter, this is the Apostle John, he's writing to a personal friend, and in the opening line, he calls him my beloved. And then he repeats that throughout the letter. In just a few short verses, 4 or 5 times, he again refers to him as my beloved. And he's expressing his love for his friend, the fact that he misses his friend, and he's on his heart and mind. Man, that captures completely how I feel towards you guys, my brothers and sisters in Christ right now. And so, beloved, I'm concerned for you. I'm concerned for myself in the days in which we are living. And then John continues on, and in verse 2 now he says, listen, here's my heart for you, that it would be well with you. And he gives 2 specific things he's concerned about. He says, practically, I'm hoping that you're in good health. And then secondly, he says that it is well with your soul. That is the heart and purpose in these videos, man. I'm praying for you guys, our church staff is praying for you guys, that we stay healthy and whole, and that our souls are at peace. If you're anything like me, just by lunchtime, you go through a series of anxiety, frustration, fear, worry, irritability, depression. It's so easy for our souls to be in despair in this season. But because of Jesus and his love for us, and the fact that our lives can be rooted and grounded in him, our souls don't have to stay there. We can be settled and at peace with him. And that's ultimately what John builds to in verses 3 and 4. He says, listen, my dear friend, what most encourages me, in fact, he says, what brings me the most joy is knowing that you're walking in the truth. And the real purpose in these videos is that we can have little doses of truth that can be the anchor for our soul, that can be the foundation that we walk upon. In the midst of uncertainty, it can feel like we're on sinking sand, but Jesus told us that if we heard his words and built our lives upon them, that we actually have a firm foundation. And so I want to come with these little tidbits throughout the week of truth that gives us a firm foundation that we can walk upon. Then as John gets into the rest of the letter, he gets into some practical details, and we'll use these videos for that too. In fact, I've got 2 or 3 right now for you. This week, some things we want you to be aware of. Number 1, our life groups are back meeting. They're just doing it through video. If you're in one, jump in, get connected, don't miss those. If you're not in one yet, we want to strongly encourage you to join a life group. Go to our main webpage, click the button to say I'm interested in joining a life group, and we'll get you plugged in. Secondly, this coming Friday, parents, you're going to get an email. Our dear Christina Marshall and Courtney, they're working together to build some stuff that you guys can do with your kids over the weekend, on Sunday morning, a little Bible study lesson and some fun interactive things. Be watching for that in your email. And then finally, on Sunday, when we post the sermon at 10 a.m., we're creating a way for us to have a little bit of interaction with each other. And so there's going to be a way for you to say, hey, I would like prayer. And there will be people available right then that can get on the phone with you, call you and pray with you in person. Or if you're just interacting with us on Facebook, we can send you a message and let you know you're on our heart, you're in our prayers, that your voice is heard. And then finally, I want you guys to prepare in advance. We're going to take communion together on Sunday morning during the sermon. So get some bread ready, get some juice ready. Hey, if you're a wine drinker, you can have a glass of red wine ready if you want to go that route. This Sunday, we'll take communion together as a church family, all right? And so finally, in closing, John summarizes everything he's trying to say to his friend. He says, look, I've kept this letter short. I hate to be using pen and ink, or for me right now, I hate to do this through video. And he says, I can't wait to see you face to face. Man, that's my heart. I can't wait till we're back together in person. But in the meantime, here's these quick little videos, these quick little letters that are meant to remind you that you're in my heart, you're in my prayers. Often we see Paul, John, these different guys write and say to their friends, I'm remembering you by name in my prayers. Man, that is the truth. That's what I'm doing. That's what our church staff is doing. We love you guys. We miss you. Grace and peace to you, my friends.